Hello, Yuka. How are you today?
Ah, super hot today. 30. I'm in Melbourne. I don't know about you, but Melbourne doesn't get very hot like this.
Oh,
So
where?
it's a crazy. Who's in Melbourne here?
Because I
Ah,
think the rest of the all the academic and
I am I
alumni is
am
coming
in,
from
I
Melbourne.
am in Adelaide. It's so hot as well.
as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Terrible. Well,
Like for
33
me,
degrees, to be honest, to be more precise. 33 degrees.
33. Ah, there you
Yeah.
go. So we're actually experiencing some real summer here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very rare in Melbourne. We
I,
have
I am in Sydney, and today's weather is exactly like a normal Melbourne. We have a very heavy rain in the morning, and make the weather to be very much in humidity and actually a very uncomfortable humidity for the whole day.
oh,
Um, so do you
Melbourne doesn't have humidity.
Okay, okay. Well, today is very much as bad as what we were thinking about
Mm.
for the weather. So you can how do you know about today's session?
How do I know about this
Yeah,
session?
yeah.
I got told about it, how we have this amazing session that gives you so much information. And, even for staff member, this is a great opportunity for us to hear about the course from the professionals that actually run it, which is the course is obviously always changing as well. So it's always nice to get that updated information. So I took the opportunity and put my hand up to be
Okay,
here.
that's great. That's great. I I think we're actually having most of the audience in the room right now. So shall we just start to do a self introduction between you and me, and then we'll
Yeah,
move forward to the faculties as well.
lovely. Well,
I'll start from myself. So I'm
sure.
Ethan. I'm the business development manager for the Asia Greater China region at Torrens University. So it's basically the course or career advisor for international students coming to. Yeah. How about you?
Well, similarly, my name is Yuka, and I am located in the Melbourne campus. I've been with Torrens University for the past 6 years. So I'm just actually entering the sixth year. Yeah, it is my pleasure and it is our pleasure to be host for today's event.
Especially for the business information system, this is one of my favorite course that I want to sell or promote to our international students. You know that we have like this course delivered in all of our campus, including Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Adelaide, and we every year we got tons of students studying in this course.
Mm,
Um, and I do believe this course is kind of like half IT, half business. So that makes the students who wanted to join IT, especially in the postgraduate level, wanted to join IT without the IT background, to have a bit of that.
yeah.
So I think, yeah. How do you think about this course?
Well, I think, business information is utilized in every business.
Yeah.
Like I don't know one business that doesn't use any system as such. Actually,
Right.
maybe there are, businesses out there that does it. I don't know. But it's, I think it's an essential part of any business to have an effective system. So
Wow.
to be able to actually, to learn about how you can maximize that and how you can be on top of it is definitely an essential part of a successful career.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Even from like a couple of my friends who were actually working as accountant in Australia, that now they try to study the business information system more than ever before because they wanted to move their career from accounting background to like a BA, which we call the business analytics background. Um, that requires quite strong skills knowledge from the business information system sector for that. I think this is going to be a very useful info session for all of our, to be honest, all of our international students or even domestic students here in
Yeah.
Australia. Do you agree?
Well, I think as long as there's electricity,
Yeah.
you can make use of information systems because now these days there's so many different systems, and I mean, we will be able to find out a little bit more about the actual course and, you know, what it actually involves, and, you know, any industry updates and things like that. So yeah, this is something that I'm really looking forward to. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I think, well, we're just talk from the very beginning level about this course. I think it's the time for us to dig more into this course, dive into this more into this course. That's why we have all of our faculties, including our alumni, coming to have a talk about. By the way, do you know who's going to come in for today's session?
I do.
Oh, great.
Oh, do you want to know? We have some
Absolutely.
special guests this evening. Basically, tonight's going to be an evening filled with information about the course that we offer here at Torrens University. And the session, I believe, will be presented by none other than the Associate Dean of Business, Claire Davison. We also have Angelique Zachas. She's a senior learning facilitator. And finally, it's really, really interesting, well, exciting to actually have Carice Falk, who can tell, you know, everybody about the course from the student's perspective, as she is a recent graduate who successfully completed the course with us.
That's amazing. All the senior peoples from this course, and also we do have our students who graduate from us to have like their experience about that. That's great.
Yeah.
Let's just hand over to them, I think.
Lovely. So
Bring down
yeah.
5 watts for this.
Well, without any further ado, but just to let you know, after the presentation, I believe there is going to be a Q&A session. So, you know, for all the people who are actually listening, please feel free to ask us any questions, because that's what we are here to do. Also, during the information session, you're more than welcome to type in any questions in the chat, because we have a number of staff members ready to answer your question in real time as well. So without any further ado, over to you, Claire.
Thank you so much, Yuka and Ethan. It's our great pleasure to be here this evening. I have got some slides, because what you will learn at university is academics always have slides. So I'm going to just share my screen, and we will I guess start from there, except I've done it in the wrong order. There we go. I need to go over here, press share screen, and go here. There we go. All right, she says, hoping that it goes into a slideshow. Yes, excellent. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate your time, and we're going to talk about things that we're incredibly passionate about. And I'm incredibly passionate about business information systems. It's my background in terms of my academic career. And now I'm thrilled to be the Associate Dean in this area that looks after the information system. So whether you're doing undergrad or postgrad, it doesn't really matter in terms of what we're going to talk to you about today. So I'm going to talk in really general terms in the way that we have created our degrees, and, you know, I guess what the benefits are for coming to learn with us at Torrens. So, and then as we've mentioned, Clarice is then going to talk about her experience as a student, and she's had quite an exciting journey with us, well, her entire career, but within that, she's going to talk a little bit about the Social Enterprise Hub, which is a big part of our employability functions within our faculty. And then finally, Angelique is going to, I did have pictures of us, but you've seen us already. Angelique's going to talk about the supports we have at the university for students, and particularly about employability. And, you know, because I know the main reason everybody's coming to uni is you want to get a job, or perhaps you might have your career already established if you're in a postgrad, and you might be thinking about what's the next step, what's the next thing I want to do. And I would like to say, you know, Yuka, thank you so much, because you're absolutely right. There is not a single business that exists in the world that doesn't use information systems. And so while we talk about it being a little bit about IT, it is also about the way that businesses control their data, their information and decision making. So when students are sort of asking me about what's the difference between IS and IT is more about the systems. So you build things, you might code things, whereas in information systems, it's much more about the business implementation of IT systems. So how do you not just how do you crunch the numbers in data, but then how do you make decisions about that? So they're the sorts of things we teach you. I've put a slide up here with all the we're going to give ourselves a big pat on the back because we do some incredible things in our area. And, probably the thing that we're most proud about in the quality indicators for learning and teaching results is that we are actually #1 in Australia for computing and information systems. So, this is a really well-established and well-recognised degree, and that's both in the undergraduate and the postgraduate. And you'll also see the things that we're really passionate about, which is about getting our students employed, full-time employment, graduates actually getting out there and getting into their careers, not just getting a job, about starting and working out your careers, the next step, and that's what we're here for. And we also have awesome teachers. Like, we've got a really great teaching cohort in information systems. You'll find that they're industry people as well as academics. And then as you sort of progress through your degrees, you'll get more into the practitioners. So you will be, when you get to the final sort of subjects, when you're looking at professional practice and what we call a capstone, you'll be taught by people who are in industry doing this work. So we are not purely theoretical. We are really about making sure that you get real skills to use day one that you walk through the door of any organisation. Oh, I didn't want to show that. In the master's level, we have ACS accreditation, the Australian Computer Society, and under the Solar Accord, this is transferable across the globe. So it's recognisable everywhere. Now, I know we've only got it for the master's currently, but we have just put in the application for the bachelor's, and certainly we map our courses against the Australian Computer Society graduate attributes. So please, take that into consideration as you're thinking about Torrens. It's a really well recognised certification, for want of a better word. And just a bit of a snapshot. Why am I here? Why am I thinking about information systems? Well, it's where the jobs are. It's the future of work. If we're really going to boil it down to something, it is about how you make better business decisions with data, with information, with systems and processes that have been set up. So within an information systems degree, you learn all sorts of things. So yes, you do a little bit of programming, but that's not the whole. You're not sitting in front of computers coding. You are learning how to write strategies, how to look at the requirements of businesses. And if you look at these stats, and honestly, I don't expect you to read all of these, but the bottom line is that, in Australia, there's going to be about 250,000 new jobs by 2025 in this area. And if you go on to Seek, or one of the sorts of search engines that allow you to have a look at what's happening in the world, analytics, cybersecurity, information systems, analysts, business analysts, these are the jobs, the hot jobs at the moment that are out there. So not only is it just because they're needed, but they're really interesting jobs, and it doesn't even matter what industry you're going to be in. You can work in any industry and work in information systems, because as we've established, there isn't a single business without that sort of work happening. So these are the official titles of things that we can really assist you with when it comes to working out your career, and Angelique will talk a little bit more about how we can do that. But a lot of our students go on to become business analysts. and many go on to work in databases or data control. You can do, because there are electives across both the undergraduate and the postgraduate, you might choose to sort of specialise there in analytics. So we have analytics, we have accounting classes, we have all sorts of things. So you can build up your information systems with further skills that will help you, work in the area that you want to work in. And I guess, but before I hand on to Clarice, I'm guessing you're all very excited about hearing how she's been really successful, is what do we do that's a bit different at Torrens, because we are a little bit different. Most of our subjects, well, not all of our subjects, across the undergrad and the postgrad, they're really contemporary. They're really real world subjects. So you're going to learn things and skills that you will take to whatever business you're going to work in. So even if your dream is to run your own business, you might be this, the next Bill Gates or Jack Ma, or that's probably not a good example. Anyway, you might be the next big thing. These subjects will also help you. So we teach data analytics and data management, agile project management, cybersecurity. You might design an app. We do digital strategy. There's all sorts of exciting things. So don't think you'll just be sitting in front of a computer. You will be doing all sorts of activities within these areas. So we don't have any exams, which I usually find is one of the first questions that pops up in the chat. No exams in information systems, undergrad and postgrad, none. What we try to do is give you authentic assessments. And what I mean by that is you are going to be doing things that when you start as a business analyst, you'll be doing in real life. So the reports and the presentations and sometimes even videos are things that you will actually have to do on the job. So we try not to do things that aren't helpful. It's not about tests. It's not about that sort of learning. It's about embedding you into things and getting you to do real life case studies, or, for example, the Social Enterprise Hub internships, to actually give you the skills. Because in Australia, it's really important not just to have the education, but to actually do the work and apply what it is that you've learned. So if you can prove that to employers, you are doing very well. So just a few of the things there, but we do have certifications built in. So I've put Cisco there. Cisco sits within cybersecurity. And so these give you a competitive advantage, something else when you're going for jobs. And we do have a lot of industry linkages, particularly in the postgraduate. Just about every single subject is related to a specific business. And then the cases that you're working with are real businesses. And the impact that you make with your assessments and with the discussions that you have in class actually make differences to real businesses. So we're very passionate about that, to make sure that you get exposure to clients so that you can learn in real time. So as is always, I talk too much because I'm very excited about this topic, but I'm going to maybe head to the chat and answer some questions, because I'm very excited to hear from Clarice and her experiences thus far.
Thank you, Claire. It was very good. Well, this is me, guys. Thank you for coming today, joining this webinar. I'm a former business analyst. Actually, I have a few years of experience working on a variety of projects, and I decided to make a transition to academia because I believe that I will make more impactful contribution to the community. I also have over 7 years of experience working as a business analyst in the banking industry in Brazil. And my background, my educational background includes bachelor and MBA in business administration, and I completed my master business information systems in December 22. And I'm here mostly to share my experience with Social Enterprise Hub and how this opportunity helped me helped me to land my first job in Australia. So just going through the slides. Okay, thank you. So what is Social Enterprise Hub? Well, the objective of Social Enterprise Hub is to provide consultancy services for purpose driven in not-profit companies. And in summary, we provide service for companies that are in need for help to grow their business, and they find from Torrens University a good channel to have knowledge and experience and help for their business. Can you go to the next slide, please? So the Social Enterprise Hub includes several kinds of companies that we can work with, and also services areas, including digital marketing, event management, data management analytics, cloud applications, artificial intelligence, that is very important nowadays, and project and agile management, strategy, research, accounting, and financial service. So you have a bunch of options to work within Social Enterprise Hub. You can see here the clients who have worked so far in the last almost 1.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. So we have in a short term a lot of experience to share with Social Enterprise Hub. And here are the, let's see, the most famous projects we have worked. The project I worked when I started working, when I joined to Social Enterprise Hub is the second one, Linking Futures. And I'm going to share a few details about this now. Well, talking about my experience in full, as I said, I finished my master in December 22. And when Social Enterprise Hub launched this project, I feel very excited, and I was looking for a way to really close the door of my studies with a great result. Because, you know, when you decide to study for a long term, is because you are looking for increase your skills and be more prepared for the job market. So I had this in my mind. And when I saw this opportunity, I thought it will be a strategic decision for me, especially because I was about to complete my master's degree. And I was thinking the next step that will be start looking for a job and prepare for interviews. And everyone knows how intimidating interviews can be. And mostly when you don't have enough experience in a particular role. In my case, my background was in business administration. As I said before, I worked long years in banking industry, but I want to start a new career in IT, and I didn't have any experience in IT. So I saw Social Enterprise Hub as a door for me to start working in the dream job that I want to start working. Just to give you some context, as I said, I started working with Linking Futures. In summary, they want to transition from face-to-face classes to online classes, because they provide training services for companies, and they want to expand their company around whole Australia nationally, and they need something digital. And that was our requirement. And the project itself was very dynamic, and the client was really eager to see our approach, how we will perceive the problem, and in every other aspect. Also building relationship of trust with our stakeholders, our clients, was really important, because anyone will give their dream for someone they don't trust. So this was very important to engage with stakeholders and really understand the business problems and go deep in the business and what was the needs of the business. So I have with my team that was composed of several students from other levels. So we had the opportunity to learn it together in all the situations involved in this project. And at the end, with 3 months, really intense 3 months, we were able to deliver a really good product, really good start for this project. I know Linking Futures, they still working with Torrens University to developing these projects from December 22. And I'm really happy to be part of their journey from the beginning. So after finishing this project, I was able to understand what business analysis is, what requirements documentation means, how to build a real relationship with stakeholders, how to create effective communication, how to work properly with my team, because you know, when you are doing a assessment, for example, it's different approach. People are maybe a little bit distracted, and we have our personal problems, and you don't dedicate totally in your team work. So in this this project within Social Enterprise Hub, we have to work as a team. So we need to share our expectation, some struggles we are having during the project, and this help you to face the real situations out there. Also, solution analysis and project plan. So when I finished this experience with Social Enterprise Hub after 3 months, I feel so confident to face interviews, because you know, I was able to answer the questions from the high managers and the interviews in general. Is that what they want? They want to see if you are able to help the company to solve their problems. And if you are in an interview and you don't answer the questions properly, they will feel insecure to give you an opportunity. And luckily, or hopefully, or I don't know, is from a lot of work, I would say, I got my first job before finishing my master. So a lot of people don't believe that it was possible to happen, but it happens to me. I got my first job at Royal Flying Doctor Services as a business analyst, and I worked with them for a short-term contract. It was about 6 months, but I learned a lot. I could apply more knowledge, more learning from my master in that experience. And I worked with software development in this period. So I can thank enough Social Enterprise Hub for this opportunity. And other thing that I want to share, even you are doing a master degree or a business bachelor of business information system, you have to keep in your mind that the job market is a cold-hearted. So you need to be prepared to face situations that you are not having in a university, when you are studying. We need to be prepared for the real life, and just real experience will give you this confidence to face the job market properly and be competitive. You know, you need to be prepared to be competitive with other professionals, because we have the knowledge, enough knowledge to be competitive. But you need to prove, and the only way to prove it is when you have a work experience, something to share, some experience, some examples. In interviews, for example, they always ask for you to provide some real examples. It's not just about theory. You are always be asked to provide real examples. How do you manage your stakeholders? for example, anxiety, or how do you manage to communicate with your stakeholders? How do you gather the information for your requirements? So all of this we are learning in our assessments, in our classes. But if you don't have the real work experience, will be really hard to provide some real examples. That's why I recommend everyone to join Social Enterprise World, because I know how this will add value for your resume, for your confidence, and for your future.
Thanks so much, Clarice. That's
No
really
worries.
great. Thank you. And I guess I would say to everyone listening, the Social Enterprise Hub actually sits within your curriculum. So you would do it as part of subjects. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing undergrad or postgrad, you have the opportunity to work within the Social Enterprise Hub. So it's a really exciting part of what we do, and a very exciting part of I guess, the employability strategy to make sure that you guys are getting what you need.
And also, just to add some more thoughts, we were not going to be alone doing the projects. You know, you have support from your facilitator, from one specific facilitator that will be your lead consultant. They will help you during the journey to understand the business problems, how to manage the requirements, where to find the information. You know, you will not be alone. So this is a plus in your journey, and very helpful, I would say.
Great. And you might even see Clarice in the Social Enterprise Hub if you join us here at Torrens.
Probably. And I will be very happy to help you guys in your journey, and to thrive and be more prepared for the job market, because I know how it's look like. I know how hard it is to get a job. I know a lot of people that finish their degrees and they still looking for a job, because this kind of experience really lack in their process to find a job. You know, they don't have the information to share. So with us, you will have this as a plus in your journey.
Yeah. Which makes an excellent segue to Angelique. We will hand over the microphone to her to talk a little bit about the employability services. And again, this is something Angelique is very passionate about.
Great, thank you, Claire, and thank you for sharing your experience, Clarice. So welcome, everyone. I'm Angelique Zakis, and I'm a Senior Learning Facilitator here based in our Flinders Street campus in Melbourne. I'm a career coach, a learning facilitator, and a passionate student employability advocate in the international education sector. I've been working in the sector for over 10 years now in various career services and teaching roles. So I'm going to share a little bit about the career support available here at Torrens. So in addition to our Social Enterprise Hub placement opportunities, which, as you heard, will be an amazing opportunity to build your skills and add that experience onto your resume, we also have a fantastic employability services team and a team of industry engagement consultants. So they really manage relationships with industry partners to source internship and graduate opportunities for our students across a wide range of roles and industry sectors. The team also hosts industry guest speaker events on campus and online, and an annual careers expo called Industry Connect, which is such a great opportunity to network with companies who are exhibiting and access exclusive career opportunities. Now on the screen here is a preview of our career services platform called Careers Connect. This is where you can apply for jobs and internships. You can sign up for different careers workshops and events. You can use the mock interview tool to practice your interview skills. You can submit your resume for expert feedback. And then you can also access a huge database of career resources. So including websites, blog posts, templates, things like a resume template, on-demand video content, again, on so many different topics, including career planning, job search strategies, job application skills, LinkedIn, networking, internship preparation, the list goes on. Then each faculty have specialized employability facilitators to support your career development. So I personally teach an undergraduate subject called Design Your Career, which I guess, as the name suggests, is really designed to help students build those essential career management skills and navigate the dynamic world of work. So in preparation for either industry placements or graduate employment. If you're keen to hear a little bit more about Design Your Career and hear some general career tips, I'll drop a link to a recent podcast I joined as a guest speaker in the chat. It was actually hosted by our student ambassadors, and it's about job readiness. So in your own time, we'd encourage you to tune into that. Then apart from our employability and career support services, we of course have a wide variety of other student support services to help guide you through, I guess, life at university. So firstly, we have student support teams available at every one of our campuses. You can't miss them when you walk through the doors of our campus. And of course, they're also available online if you prefer to connect via email or phone. And they're really there to support you with any general queries related to your studies. Then we have a dedicated team of success coaches to help you reach your study goals. They offer personal development workshops. They facilitate a peer mentoring program and offer one-on-one support, especially in your first year. Then our learning support team, that includes our librarians and our academic skills facilitators. They offer study skills workshops and again, access to great resources to support you through your assessments and learning how to write academically, which can be a little bit challenging at first. Then well-being and diversity, that includes our accessibility support, counseling services to overcome mental health barriers, and many other initiatives that really aim to promote a safe and inclusive learning environment. Finally, we have a really active student representative council at each one of our campuses and online, and they are there to advocate for the student voice and really help create a sense of community. So they host lots of really fun social events and excursions with the support of our campus life coordinators. So this is just to name a few of our teams on the ground who are there to support you throughout your studies, throughout your student life cycle. But there are many more support networks and on-campus engagement activities that I encourage you to explore. I'll drop another link in the chat box. This is to our student hub, and you'll be able to learn more about the support services and staff on campus and our courses, of course. So thank you. That's a wrap from me. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks so much, Angelique. And I think it's really important to understand that you're not alone in this journey. There's not just academics like me and employability people, but there's a huge support system. And we're really about, I know it sounds a bit, we want you to have fun. Uni should be about having a great time, learning things and working out your career and where you're headed, and feeling really supported while you do so. So that's a big part of what we believe in here at Torrens and a big part of our commitment to you. We want you to enjoy this. So thank you for your time. I wasn't able to check the chat while I was doing that. Are there any burning questions, Yuka or Ethan? Is there anything there that they would like us to address that we haven't?
Yeah, Claire, I think we do have quite a lot of questions popped up in the chatting box, but most of them have already been answered. So that's all good.
Great.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything they would like to quickly pop in the box if they have anything they'd like to ask us? Anything I didn't explain about the actual degrees that you can study for? Certainly not recommended when you first start. We would prefer that you get used to being at university and get to understand how things work and your lecturers and creating that community. But it can be done with permission of your head of school. And I think so with the web design, not a lot. So in the postgrad we don't cover web design because obviously it's a smaller degree. In the undergraduate, there is an app development, I guess, side of things more so than web. It looks at the theories around web and you do a bit of practical things. And we do hope that in the next year or so that we will have an elective where you can actually build that app that you design. So that's a good question. So if you're more into that side of it, you're probably better looking at the more creative tech subjects. We're much more business oriented. Excellent. That's good. And you've got campus tours, which is excellent. Well, if no one has any burning questions or anything, we do, Tiffany, recommendations, as in us recommending you to jobs, or do you mean us recommending specific jobs to you? Well, actually, we do both. If you're an amazing student and you stand out, and particularly in the social enterprise hub, yes, you would. You would certainly get recommendations. You have to do the work and you have to be really good. But yes, of course we will. And that's a big part of what we do. If you go onto our social media, particularly in LinkedIn, you'll see a lot of work. We push out a lot of information about our student success stories too, particularly in the student face in the hub. And Larissa, who is one of, like Angelique, one of her colleagues in that area, she runs a podcast and talks a lot about our student successes. So you may even be on that. And you could actually attach that to your LinkedIn or your CV.
And Claire, I have a very good question here from one of the students, from Catherine. So basically, she was asking how many hours per week does it take to the class or assessment?
Very good question. So it's set at an AQF level, but which is our quality framework as a university, but essentially 3 hours of classes and then 7 hours of working on your own or within groups. That's the standard. Some of you will do more, some of you will do less. But most classes are done in 3-hour workshops across undergraduate and postgraduate. But then it's a little bit, if you do the online only, that's a little bit different because staying online for 3 hours is quite the challenge. So, working out ways of engaging you in those sorts of spaces. So when we're in an online class, we're not just talking at you for 3 hours. It's a bit of a different kind of way of doing things. But having said that, we have campuses all around Australia. I'm an old school academic. I love face-to-face, love meeting you and talking to you and, really building those networks. And I think we were using Weibo, weren't we? So in China, you guys really understand the having to create networks and relationships. So we love that side of our jobs. We love getting to meet you and getting to know you.
And also, Claire, I have a question from my side. What usually is the class size of, like, for example, a master of business information system?
Look, it does differ depending on the type of subject that you're doing. In the undergraduate, they tend to sit around sort of 30-odd students in a class. If you're on campus, classes tend not to be more than 30. If you're online, they go up to sort of about 50 students. But having said that, if we have a really large class, we have 2 lecturers in there to support you. So it's not just, just a free-for-all craziness. And in no space are you going to be in a world where people are just going to talk at you. like I'm doing now, but you know, it really is interactive, and you will apply and practice the things that you have to do.
Great.
Yeah. All right. I can't
Yeah.
see any other questions. Or did you have one, Ethan?
No, I don't. At the moment, I will just leave the time to the audience to ask more.
Excellent. I can see that they're answering all the administrative ones that I'm not as au fait with. So, you know, I'm pleased, you know, about the questions. They're really great. And obviously, if you have other questions, you can reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to share. But we would, I guess, from our perspective, like to thank you so much for your time. You know, we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy weeks and your busy lives, I'm sure, to meet with us and to listen to us talk about things we're very excited about. And we hope a little bit of that rubs off on you, that you're equally as excited around information systems. So thank you all so much, and have a great night. And thank you so much, Yuka and Ethan, for hosting us this evening.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So, Yuka, how do you think about that? We're almost running out of time, but we still got so many questions in the chatting box. No, you mute. So you mute it.
Is there anything I can answer before I have to disappear to a board meeting?
No.
But I might disappear, but Angelique and Clarice are here. And
extra questions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
Thanks so much.
Well, it's really a very good session, I think. What do you think, Yuka? As like staff here. Oh, we can't hear what you're saying, but that's okay.
Oh, my apologies. I've been talking this whole time. You guys have missed out on my talk. No, I was just saying that it was great to actually hear about the course from the voice of the big boss, really, Associate Dean. She obviously has all the information, so it's great to actually hear that. But also, the extra support that's that's provided within the university, and also the voice of an alumni. It's always nice to hear from that perspective, because
what makes me the most impressed is that when Claire was talking about no exams of this course. So what's that mean? Because if I'm a student, I'm thinking about no exams. Doesn't mean that I'm lazy or I don't want to study or something. It's more about all the assignment is going to be practical. It's going to be applied in the real industry. So that I think for me, if I'm studying this degree, I will have more chance instead of doing paperwork, but doing more like industrial skills, pre-training industry skills that I can use in the future in my career. So I get training early than the other graduates from other universities. That's something actually attracted me more about this course, and thanks for that. It's a very good setup. How do you think?
Well, to be honest, I actually finished my MBA here at Torrens back in 2022, and I really enjoyed it. Mind you, I do have 15, close to 20 years of work experience, and then I took MBA, and there were a lot of things that I learned that was really fresh, and also the things that I can actually apply in my everyday work. So I'm sure whatever you learn, in the course, and whatever course you take, you add that into your to your knowledge bank, so that you have a broader understanding of the world or the career that you're interested in.
Yeah, I think it's more about our focus, not only exam, but more importantly, the career. So that's something I think, I don't know if Angelique, you agree with that. This is something we're actually we're aiming for the student to achieve before they graduate from this degree. Is that right? Yeah.
Absolutely agreed. And I think, you know, the primary motivator for investing in higher education is to advance your career.
Yeah, I
Either
think,
get a new job or a better job.
yeah,
Into a new industry,
I
career
agree.
transition.
I agree. That's what happened in Clarence for herself. Like what happened to Clarence like a couple of years before. Something already been um, achieved in in your career. Yeah. So
And
thanks.
it's through the networks that you also develop
Yeah.
Throughout university, and might be unexpected
Yeah.
opportunities.
One thing that I want to share with you guys, from my perspective as a former master degree, I think it's important when you make a decision to join for a degree, even if it as a bachelor or a master, you need to make a plan. You know, you need to know where you want to be when you finish your degree, your studies. So that's why it's important to have goals, define your goals, because time, 2 years or 3 years go so quick. When you realize you just finished your master and you don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
And everyone that decides, get the decision to, oh, today, this year, I will start my master or my bachelor. You need to really figure out what you're gonna be, what kind of profession you want to have when you finish your master. And during your studies, you make all the steps, you create all the steps that you need to take to achieve your goal. And most of the students, they leave this decision just after finish their master. And I really believe that you need to start think about this since the first day of your master. Is what I did for in my journey. I started planning my future from the first day I decided to join in my master degree. So it's one thing that really worked, and you will get really good results if you really plan and design your future from the beginning, from the first day. It's one of decisions is to decide for a good university, a good program. You know, everything will help you to get where you want to be.
Wow, I think is a very good tip.
Yeah, and very inspirational. Yeah, so thank you so much, Clarice.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really have a lot of ideas when I start getting my classes. I really want to work with them in this approach, because people are really lack some guidance and aspirations, how to start, when to start, you know, what kind of tools can I use to really design my your life, you know. And I really want to work in this aspects, because I know we work really well, because it's what I did for me. And if I had the opportunity to share every step, every decision that I made in the past during my 2 years of master, you will see that everything happens. I'm here today because I built this journey strategically. You know, I wasn't play or just I go there and have some fun with people. Of course, need to be fun. It needs to be interesting, but you cannot forget that you need to be strategically. You need to know what you want. That's the first step, and everything will contribute for you to get what you want. In my case, for example, as I said, I didn't work at IT field, and when I realized it, I was working in a company as an ICT business analyst. You know, I need to prove that I was good on it and keep doing my job properly and building my reputation, because we build our reputation in every interaction, even if it's in a university or is in your work with your co-workers. So is everything contributes for you to achieve your goals. So you cannot forget these steps. It's extremely important.
All right, thank you, Clarice. Well, look, I think a lot of the guests that we have today might have left, but some of you might still be online. So I just would like to, together with Ethan, Angelique, and also Clarice, would like to thank you so much for your time. I know many of you guys are coming from, or actually connecting to us from different part of the countries, different part of the world as well. So thank you so much for your time. We look forward to having you join us at Torrens University.
Thank you.